Good morning, everyone. The presentation today is entitled Warning. Warning. I'll get into it right away because my storage is low and I want to keep everything under 10 minutes. If God has given you some gifts and you are not able to exercise them, to use them, you will ultimately have to explain to Him why you did not use those gifts. Some of the gifts He has given me are I am a lawyer and I taught law, so I understand law very well. And I went beyond that, studied for a master's in the humanities and a PhD in the same humanities. And I specialized in study of anti-Semitism and genocides. I'm a Holocaust studies scholar. I studied the Holocaust. I also have other areas of specialization like Jewish studies, Igbo studies, African religions, but I'm going to talk on my areas of specialization that concern genocides and to some extent anti-Semitism this morning. We are still trying to digest the news that came out of Lagos that many streets named after Igbos who participated in building up the particular areas that we are named after them, that these names are being changed to Yoruba names. There is history behind all this. If the Igbo people had not been scapegoated, profiled, stereotyped in Lagos like other parts of Nigeria, this may not be a big deal. It will just be a matter of the Yorubas deciding to reclaim what is theirs. But Igbos have a history in Lagos. Read Alice Madueke's book. Read fortunately, all the biographies coming up. Read the views of Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie when somebody threatened to throw the Igbos into the lagoon. The Igbos were killed in Lagos. Like Igbos were killed in every part of the country. And these streets have borne these Igbo names for some close to 50 years, some 70 years, and all of a sudden they are being renamed today. And take this from me, it is the right of the Yorubas to possess, dominate, and dictate what happens in their lands. It is their right. I don't in any way infer or express or mean that the Yorubas don't have a right to determine what happens in their land. It is their land. It is their ancestral land. They have a right to treat it as they want, provided that they also respect human rights. So what am I saying? That the Yorubas woke up and began to change the name of these streets sends a message to us. The message is that they are fed up with the Igbo presence, that the Igbo presence annoys them. And now my training as a genocide studies scholar is coming. Genocides, ethnic cleansing are totally predictable and foreseeable. And they take place when a group becomes fed up with another group. The Yorubas that follow this channel will not like this because some of them are good people. Of course, the Igbos are tone deaf. If they were not tone deaf, a lot of things that happened before could have been avoided. Nigerians don't want to hear things like this. Even Igbos don't want to hear things like this. But for God's sake, 3 million Igbos were killed. And the society was destroyed. The Igbo society was destroyed. Igbos will not like to hear that when street names are renamed, it's a portent of something worse coming. Because Igbos have, as people that are deaf and blind, invested everything they fought for, everything they labored for, they invested them in Lagos. So they don't want to hear anything that is saying it is not safe to be in Lagos. But the world is not interested in what happens in Africa. So the best way for people that originated from Africa to help themselves is to avoid problems. And I see problems coming. This one can still be avoided. Igbos henceforth stop buying lands in Lagos, stop investing in Lagos. The Yorubas may not be planning to kill Igbos now, but they are definitely not happy with Igbo presence in Lagos. And that is why they are sending these signals of, we are renaming the streets. This is our direct way of telling you that we don't want to be reminded that you are here. Unfortunately, Igbos still have a homeland. If they lose everything they have thrown into Lagos and Abuja, but retain their lives, they can still rebuild. But if they lose their lives, that will be the real loss. It's not too late now, but it's getting to the point where it will be too late. I know that this particular video will offend a lot of Yorubas, offend a lot of Igbos, because Yorubas will look at themselves and wonder, why is this guy saying that this could result in genocide? But they don't have to feel bad. They only have to look at history. They have to look at history. Everybody that is over 10 in Nigeria should remember Obafemi Awolowo, should remember Anthony Enahoro. These were sophisticated people, but they openly insisted that genocide is that starvation is a weapon of war. When 10,000 Igbos were dying daily. So people should not feel offended that we are telling people how to avoid a repeat of those things. And as I have said, Igbos will not want to hear things like this because they have carelessly assumed that Lagos is their land. Some of them have carelessly said that Lagos is no man's land. Lagos is not no man's land. And I do not subscribe to the lazy excuse that Igbo land does not have seaports. That's why Igbos are leaving. Are Igbos looking for seaports in Abuja? Are Igbos looking for seaports in Niger Republic? No. Igbos have not yet sat down to think about why they are leaving. No Nigerian will argue that Igbos contributed more to making Nollywood a real film industry. It started from living in bondage. Would you still notice that Igbos are in that industry today? No, the people have not been good in preservation. If the people are good in preservation, when Jonathan was the president of Nigeria, Igbos were strong in that government. The ports in Port Harcourt and the other southern parts of Nigeria, eastern parts of Nigeria would have started working. But I know that the Igbos that we are strong in that government concentrated on getting land in Abuja and setting up private universities. That's what happened. When they got into power through Jonathan, they forgot seaports. That's what happened. We need to call a spade in order to even know where we are getting it wrong. So, friends that are on this channel, don't be offended. All that I am interested in is avoidance of violence. Avoidance of violence. I've said several times that Igbos don't know how to even see the problems because of the last genocide. It destroyed the society. People may wake up in the morning, go to their jobs, come back, and assume that everything is well. But everything is not well. All the people that provided leadership in the Igbo society, the elders, none of them survived Biafra. So, what do you expect people that took over from them to do when there is nobody to say this is what will happen and this is what will happen? That is why you see all the errors today. all the mistakes. And we want to avoid these things. We want to avoid a repeat. All the best.